All right. They say we live. Make sure the audio is good as usual. I guess that's gonna be like an unofficial intro to let everybody know that the audio is good.
Well, we always do this. We always have some type of like layover from the pre-show going to the main show, and then we go into our intro. So they know what the deal is.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. What's going on, Pooh? I see Pooh already in the chat. Okay, I hear Twitch sounds good. Okay, YouTube sounds good. All right, episode 104 of the First and Framerates podcast. Like I said, we are dual streaming now on the podcast, Twitch and YouTube. You can find us on both sides if you decide that you want to use Twitch, if you feel comfortable over there, or we'll always have YouTube. Nevertheless, if you can't listen to the entire podcast, which we wish that you guys could, um, you can always listen to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. That is going to be in the link in the description of the YouTube side. Now, if you're on Twitch and you're listening to us, you can always go just search us on iTunes, First and Framerates, SoundCloud, same thing. This is going to be somewhat of a shorter episode because of the Game Awards. I know Pooh just put that up there. I do want to take a peek at that before I go to bed. You guys just don't know. Me personally, I've been very appreciative of what's been going on Twitch. Got a handful of followers that's just coming through and following the channel, watching the content, live streaming. I'm definitely going to be doing that more often. I'm sorry, DJ. I know you said that I'm hogging up all the time, but this is what the people want for the most part. I'm getting a lot of reception, and on top of that, this is making me want to play sports games again. I'm actually having a lot of fun. So shout out to everybody. You can follow me over there on Twitch. Just search VF Baller is also where the podcast is going to be as well. Um, Other than that, we got two topics. We'll talk about the first part of the NBA season, and I found a story about NFL healthcare fraud.
Yeah, I
I think
saw that.
you
That's
saw it too. I,
yeah,
I thought it was very interesting. And
a
outside of,
lot of Redskins on that list.
I know that's another reason why I wanted to. That's another reason why I wanted to put it on there because I wanted your take. And
uh,
outside of that, everything is just status quo. We all know where how everything is as far as the NFL is going and how everything is going with no what that's the only sport out right now, isn't it? Well, I
what
think it's another sport. Just the NFL and the NBA is out right now, right?
you got hockey, but
Yeah, hockey
we don't
just
really
yeah.
talk about it that much every now and then because it's really just myself and Bills that follow the
I mean, I,
sport.
I yeah, I only follow it once it gets to the end of the season around the playoffs. I usually start watching it then.
Which it makes sense for casual fans to wait towards like the end of the season because to tell you the truth, the playoffs are second to none when it comes to the excitement level and the parity that happens in the playoffs because we like I said the last 2 years we've seen two new Stanley Cup champions, but we've seen some top teams get knocked out either the following year or that year from 2 years ago. It tends to happen all the time with the NHL.
Okay, I put the link, which is kind of redundant. I put it on the StreamYard, the link to the Twitch channel, but it went to the link went to Twitch as well. I should have. Well, anyway, it's on both. If you guys want to subscribe to or follow me on Twitch, that's where it is. I really appreciate it. Other than that, let's get right into it. DJ, how you been? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right about hockey when it comes to me. I admit I am casual, and I've learned a lot about hockey from DJ, and pretty much that got me into really playing hockey games because I played them casually, but like the past few years, he's been the main reason why I've started to watch it, and I actually learned the rules through him. So I really appreciate that. Nevertheless, Bills is going to be late from what we hear. If not, he's on a conference call with his music career. So shout out to him. He has a lot of things going on with his career. A lot of things are moving. So be on the lookout for him and his music. Nevertheless, DJ, man, what's been going on with you past couple of days?
Man, nothing much. I'm still like I was telling you VF earlier about fighting this ear infection, and just it looks like I'm coming around. But my left ear is just to let everybody know, my left ear has been kind of blocked up, so I've been working at it the whole entire time. This has really been going on since Thanksgiving, so I've been just fighting that and trying to keep up with everything. been playing. I played a little bit of State of Decay 2 last night. I haven't really gotten back. I think this is probably the real reason why I haven't been writing on my blog site, because I've just been focused on just getting over this ailment.
Right, okay. No, I understand that because I had it a couple months ago, and I didn't have an ear infection. I had a clog in my ear because on my job I wear earpiece. Like when I'm driving, I can actually hear what's going on, or while I'm driving, I have hands free while I'm driving. So I've had an earpiece stuck in my ear, and I had just a bunch of wax in my ear, and it's been clogged for like at least 2 weeks, and it took me like 2.5 weeks to actually get it out. So I know exactly what you're going on. No infections outside of my son. My son had 2 ear infections in both ears, and he acts like nothing's going on. He's still playing around like everything is cool. I mean, he's a strong little kid. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm like, I've done research on ear infections, and it just seems like it's funny. We're on a sports channel. We're talking about ear infections,
right?
But nonetheless, the funny thing about ear infections is that it's not one way it pops up. It could be. I remember I had an ear infection after I suffered a concussion, and I talked to a doctor about that, and that was something that no one's ever heard of, and I've told that doctor to research that.
Right.
Because wax is normal. It's a normal defense mechanism from particles that try to enter the body, just like your nose hairs collect the dust as they enter your nose, and then eventually your nose runs to eject everything. So too much of it obviously causes problems, and sometimes the signals to the production of the wax goes haywire, and all of a sudden it produces too much, clogs your ear, and then fluid can build up. And I was on the extreme end of things when I was an infant. I almost died from it. So yeah, definitely when it comes to infections, don't play around.
Right. Chris Thomas, appreciate you coming through. Ravens Nation as usual. Daniel Daly, and you already know Spectacular Pooh, man. I was thinking about it the other day. You're probably like 2 steps away and might be getting your wrench back. I don't know yet. I have to talk to him
Just give
about
him back his wrench.
Just get back to him. You think so?
Yeah, just give it back. Yeah.
Give it to him. He's been suffering long enough.
It was petty why we took it away in the first place. So
okay, I guess.
Yeah. I would add another condition to that, but that would be petty too.
Too late. You want it, but too late. Shut up. You wanna talk about these? Bill's got all the information on the NFL scores, so I don't know what to say about that. I guess when he comes in, we'll talk about it. I guess we'll jump right into the the NBA season. Do you have anything to say about the season so far? Because I'm just looking at the standings. Bucks at 22-3, Lakers at 22-3. They're looking really good on both ends. I haven't watched many games. I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't watched many games because my Bulls aren't doing a damn thing. They're 9-17 right now. I watched a few things that they do stat wise. But right now, it looks like Daniel Daly just said. That's one thing I kind of figured out when all these transactions was going to be made. Daniel Daly said the East ain't weak. I agree. And that's a good thing because that's been a mantra for like almost a decade now, probably a little longer than that. The East, not the East, but the Miami Heat are actually looking pretty good at 18-6. That is like the biggest surprise. Any thoughts on what you got that jumps out at you, DJ?
See, I wouldn't think Miami Heat would be a surprise because they built that team and it's basically around Butler. So they
just got him this year, though. That's what I was saying.
But here's the thing with the Heat. I think they were in the playoffs last year, weren't they?
Well, you're right. The Heat was actually pretty decent last year. You're right.
But, so to add a superstar player of Butler's.
Oh no, I take it back. They missed the playoffs by 2 games.
Okay, they missed it by 2 games, but okay, because Orlando made it, but it was a close. It was close between those 2 teams.
I mean, not only that, they did play good ball, and with all things considered, playoffs or not, the Heat did play pretty good ball. I agree with that.
The season before that, they won the Southeast Division. So to tell you the truth, they've been flirting with being in the playoffs and being 18-6 at this point. I'm not really shocked by it. They've been building for this, and the opportunity to add a Butler to the franchise just puts them right there in the thick of things. Of course, you got Milwaukee at 22-3, the Celtics at 17-6. Philadelphia is right in there in the top four. The Raptors are where they need to be. Um,
I think everything pretty much is all expected outside of two things. I didn't think the Heat would be number two right now, and I honestly, and it might sound like a homer to me, but I honestly thought the Hawks would be better because of the pieces that they did draft, and Trey Young is actually playing pretty well. I actually thought they'd be better than 6-19.
well, the East is going to ultimately work itself out. I'm going to look at the West real quick. Lakers and Clippers are doing what they're expected to do. I'm kind of shocked that I think it's because of the power additions of the Lakers and Clippers that I'm shocked that the Nuggets are sitting at number 5.
Right.
So Dallas doing very well. Let me see. But it's funny. I'm sitting there. I'm looking at where the teams kind of drop off. They drop off around the same 6 and 7 spot in the standings. So you have the Utah Jazz and Sacramento Kings. Utah's 14-11. Sacramento Kings are 11-13.
But you know what? With the Nuggets being number 5 being a surprise, if you really look at the standings that they're up against, they're only like a game and a half or up to 2 games outside of being where they were last year. So it's not that I'm not gonna say it's a surprise. It's just like they're not really out of position. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're only a couple games out.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was because of it. And really, you talk about if the Lakers don't make those additions and the Clippers don't add
PG
and Kawhi Leonard, then it's just like, well, Denver could be sitting at number 3.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, not even, and I'm looking at it even outside of those, the Clippers and Lakers. I mean, the Nuggets are 14-8, and the Mavericks are 16-7. Those are literally like 2 or 3 games out of. I mean, you can flip flop them on any given night when it comes to one team losing and one team winning. So it's not like they're number 5 and there's a big gap. So I don't think for the most part they're not necessarily, out of position. But yeah, 5 is a little. You say it's slightly surprising. Mm-hmm. I thought the Jazz would be a little better though at 14-11.
Now
they do have talent. The Trailblazers is somewhat a disappointment too. I didn't think they'd be under 500.
Now, good thing that NBA.com did their. I don't know if they've had it like this, but I'm now on to the stats because you know how people like to talk about stats. I don't really like to talk about stats too much, but we just talked about the standings. So we're gonna look at the league leaders thus far. Obviously, James Harden is leading the league in scoring with 38.7 points per game.
Good Lord.
So, and his efficiency rating is at 34.3. It seems like the average around the league is pretty much like high 20s from what I'm looking on here. I'm just scrolling real quick. Yeah, it seems like the mid to high 20s is like the
what link you got? I want to
make sure. I'm on NBA.com, but let me.
I'm on the same thing too, but I'm looking at
go to stats and then scroll down.
Okay, I see. I got it.
And then scroll down to the very bottom. It'll say league leaders. It'll take you to one where you can sort it out. You can sort it out through per season.
I got it.
Okay.
I pulled it up. I got it.
And it also has advanced filters too.
Okay. Yeah. I'm looking at that on the end on the last tab.
So if I'm looking at points, okay, and then Giannis is at 30, which for me, growing up in the 90s, 30 points per game used to always lead the league. But again, James Harden is just scoring at will.
He's having 38.7.
100% effort towards that offensive side of his game because there's zero. He gives zero fucks about defense. Luka's up there. He's at.
I was drinking something. I'm sorry.
I was drinking something too. But here we go. Trey Young, Bradley Beal, both very close at 27 points per game.
See, this is what I'm talking about. See, you got players that are playing this good, and especially for Atlanta. Atlanta has a lot of talent around it, albeit being young talent. And I know, like what Daniel Daly, Daniel Daly did say, he said that John Collins is out and suspended. You still have enough talent to be better than 6-19. That's just my opinion.
Oh yeah, and my bad. It was Jimmy Butler. I'm not good with first names all of a sudden unless it's visually in front of me. So yeah, Jimmy Butler was who I was saying.
Right. I'm trying to think what else. Daniel Daly said something is going on with Mike Conley and Mitchell. Do y'all know anything about that?
I haven't been paying that much attention to the season to see if there was something going on between the two.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, you don't have much going on in the league as far as outside of basketball. It's just everything is on the court, which is a good thing because the NBA dodged the bullet. The NBA could have been in a situation where nobody wanted to watch them because they got away
they
from that.
ain't dodged that bullet.
No, they got away from that China shit really quick.
No, they did.
I would say this.
Nah,
I would say this. No, I would say this, DJ. They got away from it fast enough. I'm not gonna say they got away from. They got away from it fast enough so it didn't affect
as fast as Dollar Junior got away from Smitty.
Could be. But on the floor, I mean they tried to keep it focused on that, and as far as basketball overall, I think we're getting pretty decent basketball outside of the blemish with James Harden's play. I think all other teams are playing pretty good. So,
okay, y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
All right.
No, I'm just messing with you. Daniel Daly said, just on the floor with them, offense continue to look stagnant. I can see that because when you look at Conley and you look at Donovan Mitchell, they're kind of both two alphas on the court. I can see that,
and that's kind of weird to see Conley on the Jazz. It's just, you know what? I'm from that time period where it's just like it's strange to see certain players on a certain team, and maybe because I feel like sometimes styles clash.
Right.
So
I mean, don't feel bad. When I see a number 10 for the Steelers, I still think of San Antonio Holmes.
Shoot, I think of Cordell Stewart.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean, Cordell Stewart. I still think of him. You know what I mean? So I know what I mean. So yeah, like Ravens Nation just said, it's weird to see Emmett on the Cardinals. Like it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I think that may just be a case of just styles clashing. You know, like you got one player, Mike Conley. If I remember, because like I said, I don't really watch Mike Conley that much anymore. But his game is definitely different than Mitchell's, and for that offense, they need them. Somebody has to adjust.
Right, and it's gonna be hard because both of their games are they're almost similar.
It's almost like somebody needs to go to the bench, and it won't be Mitchell.
But that's the thing, though. Both of them know one play point guard, the other one play shooting guard. Why is that the case?
I'm telling you, when it comes, okay, with Mike Conley being for the system that he came from, which was grit and grind, it slowed the pace down. So there's more structure involved in that type of offense versus what I guess Utah is running. I'm only guessing because I haven't seen a Utah Jazz game but from watching Donovan Mitchell play and a few playoff games I've seen him play, it seems like it's more open. And you would think Mike Conley would be successful and the offense would flourish with him at point guard. But sometimes you're talking about you just added Mike Conley this year. And now he has, at an older age, he has to play fast versus,
Well, that could be a part of it too.
So yeah, I'm like, but he's not going to go to the bench. We all know that. They just have to adapt.
All right, Bills. First quarter of the NBA. What's your thoughts?
Well, can you get a proper intro first? I'm like,
oh man, my bad. I mean, we was already going, so I was like,
no, I didn't want to interrupt y'all. So,
I know. But at least tell us how you've been doing.
I've been fucking busy, man. But busy is a good thing in my business. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, like the first quarter of the season, like the first thing I gotta laugh at is just all the people who automatically ordain the Clippers as like the king of the NBA. It's very funny to me because
I don't understand how people saw that coming.
Well, it's easy because they want anybody other than the Lakers to be the king of the NBA. And when another LA team can come and contest them, then automatically it's of course the Clippers are going to be. It's just not the case. The LA Lakers are clearly the more complete team. The other thing that makes me laugh is the fact that everybody believes that Toronto is going to automatically be as good as they were last year in the playoffs.
They're better than I thought they were. I'll say that.
I thought they were going to be this good early, but I mean, when it comes to the playoffs, you need a number one guy, and quite simply, Pascal Siakam's not that guy. Daniel Daly says because the Clippers are going to be fine. Yeah, they're going to be fine. They're not going to be the king of the NBA. That's a completely different thing. You can be fine. You can make it to the playoffs. You can even make it to the conference finals. There's a difference between that and being crowned the king of the NBA in the first week of the season.
I think it's just going to be competitive. I think at the end of the day, I think that's what we're looking at. Across the board, even in each conference, it's going to be competitive. I don't think the Clippers can necessarily lose to the Lakers right now. I'm not going to say the Lakers is going to lose to the Clippers. Right now, it's still the first part of the season. Once playoff time comes, we actually see matchups to see how players are playing against each other during the playoffs, or see how people are going on a run in the playoffs. We could make a better assessment. But right now, I just think right now it's just fun to see all these different teams actually being talked about compared to the last, let's say, 7 years, where it's clearly been 2 or 3 teams. So I think it's a good thing.
I mean, what it comes down to, I think the Celtics and the Lakers meet in the finals this year. That's what it's looking like right now. I don't see them falling off. They're only going to get better. The Celtics are going to get better. The Lakers are going to get better. They're going to get healthier.
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcus Cousins has a possibility of coming back this year, which nobody wants to see if you're playing the Lakers. Surprises so far. Luka Doncic has to be top 2 or 3 for MVP just based on what he's doing with that team. They have no business winning a lot of these games that they're winning.
Right, and I would say the same thing. The flip side of Trae Young, I'm like he got the stats, but he motherfucker just don't have the wins.
Yeah, he's had.
He's playing very well.
Yeah, and he's highly efficient according to his efficiency rating. So
yeah, Doncic has had 19 straight games of 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and that's not.
People will sit here and just talk about these two guys, are like, why one's not in Atlanta and the other one's in Dallas. Both teams win this trade easily. I mean, you look at Luka Doncic and you look at Trae Young. Well, I was a big person that was against Trae Young. I thought Luka was the better player. I had no idea that Trae Young will play this well. And not only on top of that, it's a perfect fit. Luka does not fit the Atlanta aura, lifestyle, the city. It just seems like it's a perfect fit for both sides.
Daniel, okay, you're saying make Luka go right, but that's what he wants to do. Luka is a right-handed player. He's not ambidextrous the way people make it out to be. There's a reason people don't force him right. He doesn't allow them to force him right.
And then he has all those step-back moves.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they don't. That's why they can't force. His handle is too good to force him anyway. It doesn't matter which way you try to force him. He's gonna go where he wants to go. Mm-hmm. It's like trying to force Kawhi Leonard to go left or right. Once they get to their spots, it's over. That's like trying to force Jordan, force him left. For what? Back in the 80s, before he had a consistent jump shot, a consistent pull-up jump shot, maybe forcing him left would be the way to go. Forcing him left after about 1989 was pointless. It's the same thing with Luka. You can force him whichever way you want to. He's going to find the open man. He's going to get to the basket and draw a foul. He's going to finish. Whatever he does is going to be something beneficial for his team because players that are that smart, just like Larry Bird, you're going to force him left. Okay, so what does that do? That doesn't do anything. It doesn't even maximize your chance to. It doesn't even maximize your chance to really stop him or neutralize him. So he's just a special player. But yeah, I mean, the Knicks are historically bad, as everybody guessed. He just like the thing about the Knicks that gets me is the fact that people still want to coach there.
Well, I mean, it's all because of the location.
I mean, I get it, but we just saw 2 major free agents say "fuck the Knicks" and they went to Brooklyn. I don't know why that isn't a clear indication.
You're right. I'm not gonna say location because Brooklyn is basically the same place. The thing is the prestige of the organization.
I feel you, but you looking at James Dolan and looking what he's done to these last how many teams? I mean, how many coaches?
Oh, I agree.
It's just like, why would a coach want to go there? Hell, why would a player want to go there? It just makes no sense. And they, like I said, they have a lot of players that I like, but they're just trapped in
They
a.
got they signed a bunch of power forwards for some reason.
They signed
because they couldn't sign anybody else.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but I
Like,
mean, fill your roster with players that are going to help you completely and utterly tank. Don't sign guys that are going to go out there and try to win, and then find another way to handicap the team to supplement.
Yeah, I mean, when you get guys like Julius Randle, I mean, come on, you can say what you want about the guy, but the guy's a competitor.
And Morris too.
Right, Morris. You know, you get those guys. Those guys, you try to tell them to tank, they're gonna tell you to kiss off. You know,
It doesn't
they
matter
don't,
who the coach is.
right. They just don't play like that. They're not built like that.
Other
And you got, I mean, you
surprises-
got, like I said, you got Bobby Portis, you got Julius Randle, you got Marcus Morris, Taj Gibson. You got guys like that. They're not going to play like that.
No, they refuse. They refuse to take the paycheck and phone it in. But the other surprise, even though Aiton's suspended right now, a lot of people are going to be surprised by the Suns. I'm not. I knew the Suns were going to be good. I knew the
Oh
Suns
yeah,
were
yeah.
gonna be really
I think we all knew that. I mean, we knew they were
a
gonna
lot
be
of people poo-pooed on the Suns last year, which I don't know why. They beat a lot of teams that they had no business beating because they have a good young nucleus. They have a coach that they like playing for. Those two things are a recipe for, you know, a flourishing young team. Like they all, especially Kelly Oubre, like he's the engine that makes that team go.
Yep.
Obviously, Devin Booker. Well, yeah, I mean, he was on y'all
still
team.
been on the Wizards.
Yeah, I mean, he's the engine that makes the Phoenix Suns go. Obviously, Devin Booker is the best player on the team. Obviously, Aiton's the second best player. But Oubre's energy and the fact that he can add scoring to that just brings so many, you know, it just brings a problem for a lot of teams in the league. They just match up really well. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, the Kings I expected to be a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah, the Kings are somewhat. The Kings and the Suns are pretty much somewhat a surprise. I can give that. Timberwolves are somewhat a disappointment. Trailblazers are just
Really? The Timberwolves have been overachieving compared to what people thought they were going to be. I mean, Andrew Wiggins is completely balling out right now.
He has played better, but I thought they would be above 500. Honestly,
What's the record? Let me see.
10-14.
I mean, that's not.
far off.
Yeah, that's
No,
not.
you're right.
I mean, because considering the Trailblazers are 10-15,
Yeah, and, you know, considering like if you look at the number 8 spot once again, because we talked about this earlier before you came in with the Nuggets. The Nuggets are number 5 right now, but you considering the spots, they're literally like one game out of the 8th seed. So it's not like all the sky is falling. You know what I mean?
I think what worries me about the Nuggets is the same thing that worried me about them last year, and we talked about this, and this is why I said they would take an early exit, was the fact that they still don't have a guy that you give the ball and say, get us a bucket for the last 5 minutes. I still don't see Jokic as that guy. He's an extraordinary player offensively. But the other thing is teams attack him defensively. So the Nuggets are a team that's going to get a lot of regular season wins.
What the hell is going on with the Timberwolves? They just said they lost 7 straight.
Yeah, they lost 7 straight because they came crashing back down to earth. But at the same time, they're still a talented team. I mean, yeah, they lost 7 straight, but that happens in the course of an NBA season.
Actually, 6 straight, but
yeah, it's a game of run. I mean, it's a season of runs. They're gonna win some, they're gonna lose some. It just matters like when they face certain teams. That's really what the NBA season comes down to. When are you facing this team? Are you facing this team during an up period of the season or a down period? That's how a lot of these happen. That's how a lot of these losses that people were surprised by, like with Golden State last year. It just depended on when they caught a certain team. They caught Phoenix at the right time, and Phoenix beat the hell out of them. So that's what it's about. I'm not really worried about the Timberwolves so much. Nobody expected them to be a crazy contender anyway, but I expect them to be better than they were last year, and they already look better than they were.
Well, I look at it like this. I'm looking at their home record. They need to do something about that. They're 3-8 at home, but they're 7-6 on the road. So right now, if they play on the road,
they'll be all right.
Right. But they need to do something about when they're defending their house.
All right. Chris Thomas asked the question, and is actually, I really don't have nothing to say about it, but I'm gonna let you guys have it. He said if LeBron wins the title with the Lakers, will he win the MJ debate? What do you
No,
guys think?
there is no debate.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, I understand why people do it, but because these like MJ for the generation that he
the,
played and what LeBron played in
the
the generation,
base,
you want to
the
compare the two, but
the base for me is that you're comparing two different positions and two different roles.
in two different generations.
I here's
Even
my
even across generations, they could be playing in the same generation, two separate roles. One's a scorer, one's a facilitator.
my thing is, I think at the end of the day, there are three players that have an argument for the greatest of all time: Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and LeBron James. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who you pick. I don't care what day of the week you pick them. It does
And
not matter. I don't think a championship with the Lakers will do anything to change that. I don't think LeBron passing Jordan in all-time scoring list will do anything to change that. I think
Mhm.
right now what you're talking about is I assess players differently because I'm not going to look at all their career stats, totals, and their averages. Yes, that stuff matters, but like when I watch you play the game of basketball, like how much of a savant are you truly?
Right.
Did you dominate your era? And that's when the awards come in as far as dominating your era. If you look at LeBron and MJ, they dominated their respective eras.
Mhm.
Kareem dominated his respective era, and he dominated his era in arguably the golden era of centers.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
So I would say those three have an argument, and then you have Bird and Magic that come right after that. But honestly, I don't think there's really a debate. I just don't. I'm done trying to crown anybody the greatest of all time as far as the NBA is concerned. I think three guys have an argument, and everybody else you're just kind of talking to talk. That's just me.
I would say the closest you saw to a team that could field three players with those same things literally had LeBron James in the center. That was the Miami Heat because Dwayne Wade was the scorer and Chris
Mhm.
Bosh, even though I wouldn't consider a dominant center, he was
Mhm.
playing very well for that
Yeah.
squad. So you put Kareem, LeBron, and Michael on the same team, nobody's beating you.
No,
Period.
easily. It's not even close. And the thing that's scary about it is that you could flip flop MJ and LeBron from the post to the perimeter. Like there's
Mhm.
so many things you could do. It's just scary.
All
I
three of
don't.
them could post up, and that's scary.
Yeah.
What team has three players that can play in the post?
And could all play from the foul line extended. It can all play from. It's just those
Mhm.
three players are the three most dynamic players that I've ever seen from the perspective of like whatever you need them to do. And Larry Bird too and Magic, yeah, they go into this conversation, but whatever you need this night, that's what I'm gonna give you. Okay, you're gonna get my points because I'm so good just naturally in the flow of the game. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get 25 to 30. But
Mhm.
if you need me to guard the best player on the floor, I can do that. If you need me to facilitate and run point that night, I can do that. If
Right.
you need me, that's just it's those three guys if you look at their resume. So everybody else, they can have that debate. I'm not really into that.
I
I
never
just
was.
think, yeah.
I never was in the debate. My thing was like these are two guys like DJ said. They play two different positions. They play two different styles, and they play in two different eras. You can have who you want as your goat or whoever you feel like is better in the debate. I grew up in the era when I watched Michael Jordan play. He was my guy when I watched. That doesn't mean I think look he's better than LeBron. I don't think he's better than Kareem. It doesn't mean I think he's better than anybody. That's just my guy. When we play basketball, we talk about basketball. If I have to pick somebody when I talk about who I want on my team or who I think is better in my eyes, I'm picking MJ. That doesn't mean I'm thinking about he's better than anybody
I
because
will say this.
now if you want to compare MJ against anybody in his era, no, I don't think he was better. Nobody's better than him in his era. I mean
Well,
that that's a different issue.
this is the one thing I'll say. Keep Kobe Bryant out of this fucking discussion.
Yep,
That's all I say. LeBron and Kobe, it's not close. And Kobe was a great player, but I'm sorry, resume-wise, it is not close. In Kobe's era, LeBron had 4 MVPs and Kobe had 1.
I just look at it like this. I'm like
See, I can understand that.
Kobe is a great player, but
Exception.
he's a clone. He's a clone of MJ.
That doesn't help either.
Right, and I can understand comparing them two because they kind of played around the same time. So I can understand comparing them because if you're talking about comparing people in the same era, I get it. But when you're talking about different, like Jordan mostly played in the 80s and 90s, Brian played literally in the 2000s and 2010s. It's like it's two different sets of
completely
basketball.
different eras, completely different team setups, completely different league setups as far as how the talent was distributed. You can't really compare it. People try to compare it because then they can get into arguments, and people like to argue. But that's all you ever get into is an argument. So for me, they were both great players. They both have an argument for the greatest of all time. I think that's where it stops.
Me personally, I don't have anything against Kobe. I thought Kobe was a great player. It's just that I just don't see where
Kobe bashing.
Yeah, I just don't see where he goes along with the rest. I mean, 3 of his titles with Shaq. I mean, not not
Pelican.
not not
The
not, the,
agent
not
is in the house.
I mean, yeah, I know, right? Not to knock Kobe, not to knock Kobe, but I
Ops.
mean, you had a dominant force beside you when you won 3 of your titles. Now the other 2, I give you mad props for those because it's like for the most part you can make the debate that he definitely he led those teams.
This is what I'm going to say.
It's hard to make that debate when it's hard to make the case when you had Shaq next to you.
This is
Wait a
what
minute, wait a minute, hold up. Before
Yeah.
you go on, when
Yeah.
you say, I know he was trying to say tisk, 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 but how you mistake that? How you?
Test.
Yeah, it's like A is on the completely opposite side of the keyboard. So how'd that happen?
No, but like like here's the thing that gets me about Kobe fans and LeBron haters. They all go hand in hand at this point. The thing that gets me is they'll say, well, the reason why Kobe's stats aren't up there, like he only averaged 24 points per game for his career. They'll say, well, it's because he sat on the bench. Whose fault is that he sat on the fucking bench?
And
On
he
a
was
bad team.
It was only for like 1 year
On a bad team.
behind Eddie Jones of all people.
Behind Eddie Jones. And we're not knocking Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones was an all-star. But when you're talking about a guy that came into the league ready and got drafted to a bad team and balled out, and the other guy got drafted to a bad team, got traded to a good team, as far as starters are concerned, couldn't get his niche, couldn't carve his niche into the starting lineup, and then he finally did, and he shoots 3 air balls against Utah, trying to be a hero. So it's like, I get what the Kobe fan, like, I love Kobe Bryant. He was an amazing player. But when you start comparing him to LeBron James, you start to sound really biased because their resumes are not close. They're just not. If you're talking about consistency for an entire career and you're talking about accolades, that's 4 MVPs, which is the highest honor you can get to one. I'm sorry.
Listen, if Kobe stayed where he was and played for Charlotte this entire career, we wouldn't be having this talk.
No, because he wouldn't have had a ring.
Because y'all don't realize that he did get drafted by Charlotte and was traded to the
And
Lakers.
Jerry West
Pretty much.
swindled his ass. Jerry West swindled his ass out of there.
Right. So I mean, not to take nothing away from Kobe because all his accomplishments are valid, but the fact that him playing for the Lakers does help his case because that's another prestigious team that he.
And
played
if he
on.
demanded a trade and went to the Bulls, it would have been the same shit. He would have played in MJ shadow for the rest of his career, and he
And
still
that
would have
would've
won a
been-
ring.
and that would have been worse than playing in Charlotte. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
You want to do the picks before we talk about this this healthcare fraud? Because since you're here, Bills, we can do the NFL picks.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and jump on that.
Young Noble just wants somebody to fight.
Kobe was the man.
Fight me.
Send the Addy. No, I'm just all right. Week 15, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Kobe was the clone. We all know that.
Hey, man, if we're giving out awards for mimicking somebody's moves to a T, Kobe wins that in a landslide.
Shoot, even MJ was like, man.
MJ was like, how the hell this happened? No, we're on week 14. No, we doing
MJ
picks.
is
I'm sorry,
like,
picks.
Kobe need to stay off my dick. That's what.
I'm in Chicago. Well, that makes you even worse.
Yeah, he lives in Chicago.
Justin, the Ravens. Give me the Ravens, but this is why I think this game is going to be interesting. The Jets have the number 1 rush defense in the league.
They have a lot of players that are sitting out this game.
Do they?
Yeah,
Why?
a whole bunch, including Jamal Adams. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's not going to matter.
Well, I mean, Adams.
It may not matter as much.
Quinn Williams. Yeah. Brian Poole's kind of. Damn. Well, I mean, I think they're going to lose either way, but I thought it was going to be interesting because of their rush defense. So now that I look at it, yeah, I don't think it'll be as interesting.
Yeah,
We're not Kobe bashing Pelican, man. Stop it.
You know,
We're
I think
telling the truth about the man. That's not
wait a
bad.
minute. Since I haven't seen that one other person show up, I wonder if this is the same person as that other
I don't care. What's the next?
person.
I just think them.
Wait, who did you pick? Who did you pick?
Oh, you talking about the Jets and the Ravens? Oh, Ravens.
Yeah, I picked Ravens. Yeah,
I just think them for showing up. I'm not trying to figure out who they are. They'll show their colors in one day down the road.
Patriots at the Bengals. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to debate this. It's the Patriots. I don't care what kind of crap game people throw out
there.
Really?
I'm not gonna say it's a trap game.
Don't do this, VF.
I think the Bengals gonna pull us out.
Oh, come on, man.
Bengals by 3. 24-21. Taking the Bengals. 24-21.
I'll tell you this: if the Bengals pull this one out, Pats are getting that first round exit for you.
Bengals 24-21. I'm picking the Bengals.
Wait a minute, where is it being played at?
In Cincinnati.
It's in Cincinnati.
I just got.
You know what?
Are you changing your pick? Oh my god!
You know what?
I'm not saying it's a trap game. I'm calling this a fluke game. It
is the same person. I'm looking at that.
He said the integrity. This has gone out the
Yo,
I'm changing my pick. I'm going
Bengals. Okay, you trolling now, no boy.
I ain't doing that. Now I'm not doing that.
Team is a bottom feeding ass team.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying it's gonna be a close one. I think this is gonna be a fluke, and the Bengals win.
Ravens Nation, we keep forgetting to do that, honestly, because we kind of just do it for fun. But I guess maybe around playoff time we can kind of
maybe we'll do the playoffs, or maybe we'll just probably start it next year, or hell, we might even do is the XFL start next year?
February. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep scoring the XFL. You know, go them loud ass uniform Vipers. Motherfuckers look like. Well, hey DJ, you remember that high C that came out with the Ghostbuster shit, the
the ectoplasm.
Yeah, the ectoplasm.
The lime green, fluorescent green.
Right.
Yeah, I got a shitty game to pick. The Buccaneers and the Lions.
Oh damn.
Oh, that's the bottom feeder game.
Give me the Buccaneers, bro.
I'm taking the Buccaneers. I'll take the Buccaneers.
Man, let me flip this bottle cap real quick.
I was gonna say he said this ain't even worth the coin. I'm gonna flip this bottle cap real quick.
I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers on this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Buccaneers. The Lions QB game is going to get smacked around by the Buccaneers front four. And so Jameis will have a pretty good day. He'll throw 2 picks, but they'll still win.
Well, we all picked the Bucks, so you know what that means. Lions by 20, right?
You know,
I know, right?
You know what's funny? Apparently, Madden 20 has him correct as far as throwing picks, because I was playing the Buccaneers last night, and I picked them off twice. One on a long, deep pass he had no business throwing, and another one he had no business throwing. They got him correct.
I thought you were about to say he had an X factor throwing picks or something.
Interceptor.
They should call that shit an X non-factor. That's what they should name that for the bad.
Hey, it's always one thing to call. What is it? No, they should have one that's called Pick 6 or whatever.
Sorry, Chris Thomas. I know that's your team, man. But
see, here's the thing, DJ. Now that you bring that up, that's interesting. They should have one for a guy that's really good after he picks the ball off. Like, you know how great Ed Reed was.
Wait a minute, they have something like that, but it gives a person a boost. Yeah, I forgot what it was. I think it is called Pick 6 or something like that.
But who's in the league?
Yeah, I wonder
you have to. They gave it to. I think they gave it to Richard Sherman.
Eddie Jackson, I think, it would be the closest, because he seems like every time he picks one off, he takes it back to the house.
Yeah. So what it does in Madden, it gives that person a boost as far as stamina and whatever.
That's dope.
So they do have that.
Okay, it's gonna be a good game. The Bears and the Packers. Ooh, I don't know what to pick here.
Let me see. 2 good coaches.
Packers at home.
I'm going with the Packers. Yeah, I'm going with the Packers on this one. Good coach. Good
Mitch Trubisky. quote unquote riding high.
It's gonna come down to the quarterback execution, not
Yeah,
necessarily play calling between the coaches. It's gonna come back.
Yeah.
It's gonna come down to quarterback execution.
I will say this, and I will stick with this again. It's a 1:00 game. It's not nationally televised, so I think Mitch may play a little better. But
It's in Green Bay, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's in Green Bay. The Bears cannot catch a break in Lambeau, so I'm taking the Packers.
All I know is that if the Bears don't come as close as the Redskins did, Bears are fraudulent.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers there. I'll take the Packers. Ooh, another good game. Texans and Titans.
That's
What is this? What is this, like divisional week? There's like 6.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks tend to be the divisional games.
last
Because the Skins, we have Philly this week, we have the Giants next week, and then Dallas.
Right.
They set it up purposely just for ratings.
Yeah.
Right. They do that because like a couple of teams maybe vying for the hunt for the division title.
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
that's
Yeah,
gonna be a tough one for
Give
both
me
teams.
I say not to pick against Deshaun Watson on the road, but the Titans have been riding high, man.
All I want the Titans is the Titans can keep the ball, keep Deshaun on the sideline with their running game. That's the only
Derrick
way
Henry. Derrick Henry got hurt last week. They say he's gonna play, but I don't know if he's gonna be 100%. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans on this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Titans as well. Yeah.
What do you mean Titans?
Wait, did you say Titans?
Yeah, Titans. Tennessee.
You said Titans as well.
He said Titans as well. I'm like,
I was like, no one else picked Titans except for you. You probably saw Daniel's tweet.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, he said the same thing. Yeah.
All right. The next game is the Broncos and the Chiefs. This is interesting because on one hand, you have the Chiefs at home, which is always a tough matchup, but then you got Drew Lock, who's been tearing it up.
I'll say Chiefs in a slightly high scoring game. Drew Lock still is not the reason why they lose. He will light the Chiefs defense up. I think Pat Mahomes might be a little bit too much for the Broncos defense.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs on
Yeah,
this
I'll
one.
say Chiefs like 35-31.
The Chiefs need this one, so
Yeah, I'll say 35-31 Chiefs. Broncos, I mean, they found their quarterback. I mean, we knew they had their quarterback since preseason, but the coach didn't know. The coach didn't know.
God, another shit show game. Dolphins against the Giants.
Yo, what the other game we said was a bottom feeder game?
Buccaneers and the Lions.
Yeah, the one
I
that
think
flipped
this
the
was
bottle
gonna be
cap on.
I think this is the actual bottom feeder game. The Dolphins and Giants are going to be probably the worst. This probably be the worst game. And
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Dolphins and Giants will be better only because the Dolphins team plays very hard, and the Giants have Saquon. So how wrong can you go with a game with Saquon? But the other game can just be a sloppy mess with a bunch of picks being thrown because Stafford's not playing and Jameis is on the other side. So I think this game might be slightly more entertaining.
It will be, but it's still a bottom game. I'm taking the Dolphins by 14.
Damn.
I'm not even taking the Dolphins to score 14.
Wait, what did Dollar Jr. slip you a game check or something?
A $20 bill, right? Slide it in his pocket.
There you go.
Right, and then name $20 Junior. You're right. $20.
Give me the Dolphins, but damn, by 14.
I'm going with the Giants on this one.
Okay.
It's a game in New York New Jersey or
it's in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm getting the Giants. Giants winning this one.
Cool. Eagles and the Skins. Give me the Skins for the record.
I'm gonna say Skins because this will probably ultimately decide the NFC East.
Yeah, I'm
for the Cowboys, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm taking the Redskins as well.
So I know Pooh is not gonna like that, but then he may like it just for the simple fact that
you're gonna see a lot. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
When your team tends to struggle against teams that they should be dominating over, then by squeaking into the playoffs, you don't really learn anything about your weaknesses on the team. And that's what I was saying about people when we were like, before we got officially eliminated from the playoffs, people were like, oh, wow, we could still run the table and win the conference at 7-9. I was like, but we're not going to learn anything. Bruce Allen's still going to have a job. Dan Snyder still thinks we're going to be close. and we're gonna be like this for another 20 years. And I don't know if I'm gonna stick around for the next 20 years, either on this planet or as a fan of this squad, whichever one happens first.
Yo, DJ's gonna be like 58 years old. Say, fuck this. I'm gonna be Steelers. I'm gonna be a Steelers fan for the rest of my life.
Man, that'll be another 18 years wasted.
We got them with a Ben Roethlisberger Jr. shirt on jersey.
Oh hell no!
Oh. You know, the funny thing is with the Redskins, it's just like it was like my childhood and my teenage years was very good, but my adult life has been in the gutter with this squad. So, yeah.
Well, the next game, Seahawks and the Panthers. This is another interesting one because it seems like every time the Seahawks go to Carolina plays them really hard.
They end up losing. Yeah, the Seahawks end up losing.
Panthers are not.
This is the game that we can talk about as a trap game.
The Panthers have no momentum going into this game, so it's like a complete and utter trap game.
Yeah, that was saying this is a trap game. If you want to talk about the other games we talked about, that possibly one. This is actually a trap game.
Seahawks are coming off a bad loss to the Rams. I don't know. I mean, this is actually going to be a turning point. Well, not a turning point. It's going to be, it's going to be a major part of Seattle's season. It's like, at this point, do you let San Fran start to pull away, or do you come back from that loss to the Rams and,
Yeah, I'm picking Seattle with this one.
Give me the Panthers.
I'm taking the Panthers in a close one.
Yeah.
Seattle just cannot find a way to be a good team in Charlotte for some reason. They find a way to wet the bed when they play against Carolina for some reason.
I still remember that playoff game. That shit was ugly.
And on top of that, them coming off a loss with the Rams, they look kind of demoralized. Maybe they can bounce back. They got the coach and the players to do it, but when you will want to bounce back when you're playing at home or something like that. You don't want to go across country and play this team.
It has begun in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Jaguars and Raiders. This game would keep the Raiders' playoff hopes alive.
I'm taking Raiders.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The quarterback
played the Jacksonville.
Yeah,
the quarterback play of the Jaguars is just too bad.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders on this one.
If one of those quarterbacks played at least decent, then I'll take the Jaguars. But their quarterback situation is so terrible. I'm taking Raiders.
This is another interesting game. The Browns and the Cardinals. I could see this being a really bad loss for the Browns. And then after the game, I can see Baker Mayfield having a meltdown.
Damn, the Jets are that bad? Damn, they're ranked like 30th in everything.
Except run defense.
I'm taking Cardinals.
I'm taking my prediction. I think the Browns take a bad loss. I think Baker Mayfield finally has a meltdown completely in the media. And
the thing is, the Cardinals gonna slow down. I ain't gonna say shut down, but they're gonna slow down Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I'm picking.
But more importantly, they like playing spoiler, and the Browns technically still have a chance, a very slight chance. But
Cardinals like to play. The thing is, the Cardinals like to play spoiler, and the Browns like to be the ones that let people spoil them.
Yep. And then we have that whole Odell Beckham story that came out.
Right.
About him basically telling teams, yeah, come and get me, trade for me. So, yeah, give me the Cardinals in this one.
Yeah, I picked the Cardinals. Is he gonna release the ball anytime soon? Shit. Yeah, it's hanging in the pocket there for a second.
Another interesting one.
I got Thursday Night Ballers on. Let me cut on my iPad so I can watch it. I forgot.
Another interesting one here. We got the Vikings at the Chargers. This seems like
Pelican. We already did talk about the NBA first quarter.
Yeah,
when you came in, I think we had just finished it.
Yeah, we just finished it. So if you
may want to go back and replay.
You probably want to go back and just watch what we talked about. We already did the first quarter. Usually 9 times out of 10, when you see the first topic on our title, we usually talk about that right away. So we're 49, almost an hour in. We already talked about it.
But yeah, the thing with this game is I can see them being the fraudulent ass Chargers that they are and win a game that they pretty much have no business winning.
So you're trying to say the Chargers are going to give them the Green Bay treatment because they're at home?
Of course.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Wait a
that.
minute, who the Chargers playing?
They're facing the Vikings. So I can see this being a terrible game for Cousins.
Right, because the Chargers like ransacked the Packers a few weeks ago.
What's the Chargers record right now?
They're 5-8.
Vikings winning.
This is gonna be interesting. This are really interesting games this week. They're not the straight up great matchups that we had last week, but they're like the interesting games that kind of make you think about, you know, how legit some of these teams are, to be honest. So that Vikings one is gonna be interesting. The next game is the Rams at the Cowboys. Another interesting game.
Ooh.
And I want to take the Rams, but I think the Cowboys gonna pull it together.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning this one.
Give me the Rams and another ugly one for the Cowboys and Jerry Jarrett. Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett.
I don't know why Jerry Jarrett came from. I thought I was getting Jarrett and yeah. Anyway, I think Jason Garrett gets shit canned. Sperm of the moment type thing. Where it's like, that loss was so bad at home. Get the fuck out of here. I can see that happening. So y'all both taking Cowboys? I mean,
Cowboys.
Yeah, I picked the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams on this one.
Listen.
No, actually, hold on.
Pelican. All seriousness. If you're having problems listening to us when you can't come in on time, there's always you can go back and listen to us on YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Hell, you can download it and listen to it throughout the week.
No. This is actually very important. No, you can actually, even though you're not listening to us live, if you go back to a certain part to talk about the first quarter NBA, the chat is still live. So just pay attention to the chat while you're listening just to catch up, and you can still participate. So
right, that too.
Or you can open up another window and have live playing in one window and have a delay playing in the other.
Hey, DJ's trying to show you how to play the system. What's the next game?
Okay, another interesting one. Damn, all these games are interesting. Falcons at the 49ers. So you have the Falcons who are kind of riding high, have been playing well as of late. You have the Niners who on a roll.
The Falcons have all the tools in the book to beat the 49ers, but they will not. The 49ers will win this game probably by 7. You got to think about it. The Falcons went into New Orleans and beat them. They beat them way better than the 49ers beat the Saints. I mean, the Falcons went in there and beat them 26-9, and they made the Saints offense look terrible. They just got finished putting 40 on the Panthers. So they have the potential to actually beat the 49ers, but I don't think the 49ers will lose.
Give me the Falcons, sir.
I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers in a 7-point game. It's gonna be close.
Yeah. All right, watching down here with the picks. Bills and the Steelers, another interesting game.
I'm taking Bills.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know, man. It seems like every time I see Pittsburgh playing a fucking Sunday night at home, they win.
I know, right? That is true.
Yeah,
I can't remember a time they played on a Sunday night on NBC and lost. It's like sad but true.
It's like fitting for them, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Steelers on this one.
It's almost like Notre Dame playing on NBC.
Right, like a night game. It's like it's ridiculous.
I can see the Steelers pulling it off, but I'm picking the Bills.
Cool. Then the last game is the Colts at the Saints Monday night.
Saints.
I'm gonna take the Saints. I would not be surprised if the Colts win, but I'm taking the Saints.
Colts have been showing a lot of flaws defensively. I can see them getting blown out in this game, so I got the Saints.
Now, this is like week 4 Colts. I'll pick the Colts, but
I don't know what has been going on.
Right, it's like you don't know what team you got now, right?
As soon as Watson got hurt, and then they just haven't been able to get their rhythm.
They haven't bounced back. Yeah. You're right. They haven't bounced back.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull this up. Anything else y'all got with the
picks? No, I just think overall this is going to be one of the most interesting weeks of the season. It just a lot of these teams have a make or break week here, And then there are a lot of teams who are just trying to play spoiler at this point. So we're gonna find out a lot about the Vikings. We're gonna find out a lot about the Seahawks. And this might be the one week this year that's actually pretty intriguing for me to watch.
Okay. This has made national news outside of ESPN, and I'm trying to find it on ESPN.
It's
or
funny
Fox.
because it popped up on CNN as well.
That's what I'm saying. It made national news, like, and I really don't want to post those stuff. Okay, I found it on NBC Sports. That's good.
Yeah, because I have the Sports Illustrated article.
Right, because I just don't want to put, I just don't want to put that shit up there. I just don't. All right, let's see. I'm gonna share the screen real quick. Let's get this to go. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? Okay, here we go. All right, let me share the screen. Oh, there it is. Is it? Oh yeah, there we
There's
go.
a pyramid scheme.
Oh God. All right, I got it right here. Can y'all see that?
Well, hold on. Let me. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, it's up. Okay. Clinton Portis and 9 other ex-NFL players charged with healthcare fraud. Yay. Oh. The United States Department of Justice charged 10 former NFL players defrauding the healthcare program for retired players. These players include Carlos Rogers. Hold on, isn't Carlos Rogers?
Yeah, that used to play cornerback for the Redskins and 49ers.
Oh, you know what? I almost had him mixed up with Charles Rogers that just passed away.
Man,
Yeah, that's
and
like,
people that die, you happen to notice them and think about death.
No, because I'm saying, like, yo,
Tuesday was Eddie Guerrero down.
No, because I was just saying that would be like really jacked up that the FBI will actually go after a dead man. You know what I'm saying? That's like it
wouldn't be the first time.
That's true. You're right.
DJ, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna lie. When this dude said, "Didn't he die?" That shit had me crying.
Yo, like
I had to go back and listen to that.
No, he didn't even say, "Didn't he?" He said, "Isn't he dead?"
Right. Like, Charles Rogers. It's Charles Rogers, not Carlos. So Carlos Rogers, he played for Auburn and he played for you guys. Robert McCool.
He played for the
49ers.
49ers.
Well. Yeah, he played for 49ers as well.
Yeah, he went to the Pro Bowl with the 49ers because what the Redskins failed to catch was what the 49ers were able to catch. Is that Carlos Rogers needed his eyes checked out.
Oh, God.
They corrected his vision, and all of a sudden he was picking off everything. Could catch everything. Before he couldn't catch anything. It was because he was cross-eyed.
The Redskins ruined Clint. Well, we're going to get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, let's say you had Robert McCoon, John Eubanks, Tamarick Vanover, Cedarius Brown, James Butler, Frederick Bennett, Corey.
They said that two other players, Joe Horn and Rashay Caldwell. I know,
right?
I know you're familiar with Rashay. Yeah,
right. And to Eric Pruitt, I remember him. He played for Oklahoma.
So what exactly?
Now I'm about to get into it now. Try to find out. They submitted fraudulent claims for medical equipment costing between $40,000 and $50,000 to the Gene Upshaw NFL Player Health Reimbursement Account Plan. They would fabricate prescriptions and invoices to support while recruiting others to make false claims and exchange up the payments of $10,000. What the hell is Ravens Nation?
Come on.
Where's Ravens Nation? Because he's talking about this is not a big deal. Yo, these are felonies, bro. What are you talking about?
They're about to go away for like 20 years.
Right.
In the federal pen, not the state pen, the federal pen.
In the federal, you got to do 85% of your time before you even get thought about being let out early.
Jeez.
What are you talking about? This is not a big deal. Clearly, he didn't read this. 10 former players allegedly committed brazen, multi-million-dollar fraud on the healthcare plan and meant to help former teammates and other retired players to pay legitimate out-of-pocket medical expenses. Today's indictments underscore that whoever you are, if you loot the healthcare program to line your own pockets, you will be held accountable by the Department of Justice. According to the indictment, the claims filed between June 17 and December 2018 total between $3.9 million, and the healthcare plan they actually paid out more than $3.4 million. Yo, bro, how is this not a big deal? Somebody tell me that.
And this was, let's see, I'm looking at, and the main company is Cigna, because they were trying to deceive Cigna of all this, and some of the equipment that they were trying to get. hyperbaric oxygen chambers, cryotherapy machines,
Damn, they tried to do the Michael. They tried to do the Michael Jackson, bro.
electromagnetic therapy devices.
Yo, they were trying to do the Michael Jackson. They got hyperbaric chambers. Yo, they trying to get light skin. Anyway,
Wow, that
shit is
doesn't
wild, yo.
that doesn't make you light skinned.
I know. I just said that just to be fucking around. But
Mm.
nevertheless, like I talked to my wife about it because she works for a healthcare company, and she was like, there's been plenty of times where the people that done a lot of white collar crimes that we don't even hear about that we don't hear about behind the scenes that do fraud and they don't want to pay or they don't want to reimburse patients and stuff. These guys end up going to jail like they do federal time and they do like 25 minimum. And this is for just thousands of dollars. They're talking about doing this is for like millions. So just imagine if this goes through and they don't cop a plea or they don't get special treatment. These guys gonna get medical care. They're gonna get federal medical care.
Man, this nigga Clinton Porter is about to go to jail and have somebody play with his booty, yo. Off of this stupid shit.
I'm not commenting on that shit. That's gay as hell. But you're right though.
I mean, exactly. So what? I'm right. That's the point. Dumbasses.
Yeah, this is jacked up. I mean, this is a little more serious than I thought because I didn't know that much money was involved. I know it was like 40,000 a head to get like certain products or whatever, but I didn't know they were like trying to get other people in. Like you said, DJ, some similar to a pyramid scheme. That's crazy.
Well, the way they're explaining it, like I said, I'm looking at Sports Illustrated. Excuse me. Basically, they had two ringleaders, and it seemed like the ringleaders are Clinton Portis and apparently Robert McCoon as the two. And then what they do is they recruit other players to submit their healthcare ID cards or numbers.
So they got it. So they're telling people to come through, even though they got a paper trail. Who wants you to do it anyway? Because your ID number is gonna tell you exactly who you are. So you're basically gonna snitch on yourself.
Okay, so I'm reading this part here. It says at the top were two ringleaders who directly and through runners recruited other players. They convinced their recruits to provide their Cigna identification numbers, social security numbers, mailing addresses, and dates of birth. Such information was crucial to making credible sounding but completely false claims. Later,
socials, bro.
Yeah, later when they recruited players received their ill-gotten reimbursement checks, they kicked back several $1,000s to the ringleaders. This process played out numerous times between 2017 and 2018.
So
wait a minute, hold up. This is the last part. It led to 3.9 million worth of false claims, of which 3.4 million was paid out.
So they basically did the Bernie Madoff version of the health.
Yep, pretty much.
That's crazy. Yeah, they can be in serious trouble. I know. Ravens Nation says it's a big deal, but after the politics are done, Portis might pay a fine and do 5 years at the most.
No. You talking about black players? You talking about a black person dealing with the feds? Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. You gotta understand. They got white women right now going to jail for fraud and for their kids going to college, and some of them are getting like 15,
plea
20
deals
years.
And stuff like that.
Even
they're getting plea deals right now.
Yeah, even with the plea deals, they're getting like some time. And like one of them did not take a plea deal, and that's the Full House chick, and she's looking up to 25.
Shoot, what's his name? The dude, the white dude in Hollywood that now he has a chance to pay off. He had a chance to settle out of
Right. He did.
Yeah. Versus Bill Cosby wasn't even given a chance to pay off anybody. He was just like, nah, you need to go to jail.
Well,
the feds treat us differently than they treat white people for the same crime. That's a fact.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out that fucking Jim Brown was at the head of this.
Damn, man.
And then somehow somebody's gonna link OJ to it.
Right. No. One thing we ain't gonna do. We're gonna leave OJ alone. OJ been out here. Y'all say what y'all want about that man. That man been dropping gems on Twitter about football. Nobody.
And bodies.
I've never had an issue. I've never had an issue with OJ.
No, man, leave that man problems alone, man. That man, we know he did it. We know he did it. We know he probably paid somebody to help him do it.
We don't know he did it. All right, we didn't.
That man was acquitted. That man did time
I
for
still
some
have doubts that he did
That man,
anything.
that man did it. That man spent time for some other shit. He's out. That man dropping gems on Twitter, man. That man need a podcast, straight up. He need a podcast. Matter of fact, he can come on this podcast. I'm trying to.
Yo, if we ever got OJ on this podcast,
Man.
Yo,
Man,
don't
that
even
would be-
shit. I'll try to make that happen.
Who's a guest appearance? OJ Simpson to do this week's picks.
They think we were fucking around at first.
And
We gonna be dead ass.
you know what? We'd be broadcasting on YouTube, and he'd be like, "Hey, Twitter world." I'm like, "Dude, you're not."
I know, right?
Yo, we'd have to tell them to do a promotional video so everybody believed us, yo.
No, but
Aw.
like all serious note, serious aside, that dude be saying some really good shit on Twitter about football. Like no joke, he does. That man know his shit. And
He's one of the greatest running backs of all time. The NFL can try to tarnish his legacy all they want to.
right,
But
oh, did y'all see that kick that Jets kicker just kicked?
Yeah, I saw it.
What
watching
the fuck was that?
the Philly game.
Tyler Bass could make that, but that's another story.
There you go.
But no, like seriously though, man. That man be dropping gems, bro. Like for real. I love listening to his stuff when he's trying to be funny. He be talking about fantasy league and stuff. You know, that's another one. When he actually talk about teams and football, that man be knowing this shit. He make more sense than some of these clowns on ESPN.
Of course, because he's not getting paid to talk like a clown.
Well, that's another story for another day.
Remember, this man was running through airports, jumping over
Right,
suitcase
jumping
bins,
over. Yeah, exactly.
Kurt's rental car.
You know, and I get it. People with the responses on Twitter, they're trying to get all the likes and the laughs and the retweets. I get it. I mean, it's cool. I'm not knocking them for it, but I mean, for people, I'm talking about these people that be wanting him to get off Twitter, still talk about this Ryan Goldman stuff and pay. Like, let that shit. The man was acquitted, and you know he did time for other things. He wanted to get his stuff back. The man is sitting on his little resort on his golf course. I mean, he's sitting at his house at a golf course, just chilling.
More importantly, block him or mute him. You don't have to look at OJ Simpson's tweets if you don't want to. That's the issue with these so-called fucking adults. They can't ignore shit like a fucking adult would. They gotta bitch about it. Why I gotta see this in my timeline? Why should he be allowed on Twitter? Why should you be allowed at your job flipping burgers, you fucking loser?
Listen, there's a lot of content out here that I don't talk about, and I don't even watch because it's just a waste of time.
Did we say Smoothie King don't belong on Twitter?
No, he can stay on Twitter all he wants. I'm just not gonna watch this bullshit.
Exactly.
Hey man, we need to do an update and find out how his game going.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, that was the update. That just tells you how we feel about his game going, right there.
Find out what new flavors he got for fucking smoothies. Sorry ass.
Maybe put a Molly in it or something. That's the only way somebody will play his game.
Somebody can play his game,
right? Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, just at the end of the day, man, these guys need to be careful. I hope they got some good lawyers. I hope these guys get some people behind their back to speak for them or whatever. Because
has a video.
Yeah, you know, who has a video game?
So Pelican Man asked if we're playing the Jumanji video. I didn't know they made a video game.
I'm not interested.
I'm about to say what? No. No.
Yeah, you respond.
No, I'm not playing that.
Yo, it's just probably dope, man.
No, you know what? It sounds like it'd be dope if it was on a Genesis or a Super Nintendo. Then I would probably try.
I don't know.
I'm about to
after talking about the Jesus video game.
No. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A Jumanji game sounds like a straight 2D platformer, and that will probably be dope as shit. But as a 3D game, like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
It better be a free game. Oh, here we go.
This shit looks like Fortnite.
Yeah, Baltimore looks like they're gonna run away with this. Literally.
This shit.
Yeah, I mean, we got
he's got black arm tape. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we kind of saw this coming, so I'm not really worried about the Ravens losing or making this game close.
Yeah, this Jumanji game looks like Fortnite. Yeah, I'm good.
But I will say this though. When I've been looking at a lot of games recently, and I've just been playing NCAA and I've been playing Madden 08 recently on stream. That game simulates the feel and look of football very, very close to what we see now. like the running, the blocking, the logic.
Right.
Y'all just need to go back and look at my streams. Phenomenal bowl week game. I actually put that up on YouTube earlier today. Great game. And I've been doing a little bit of practicing with my other dynasty because I switched up. Had some people on Twitch told me to do a dynasty. I mean, do a franchise mode with the Raiders. But I was just comparing what I'm seeing on the field now, like that Mark Ingram run compared to runs I've done in the game recently is like very similar. Very.
Yeah, I know the Rock is in it, bro, but I mean, it still looks like a Fortnite game.
The Rock is in a video game. How's that cool? Let's be honest.
Wow, with the Rock hate? I mean, I'm not the biggest.
If the Rock is not in a wrestling game, how's it cool?
He's in Jumanji.
Enough said.
If they made a Scorpion King game, I wouldn't play it, but still.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they did.
Yeah, and it was just as bad as the movie itself.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good.
I can imagine.
Anything else y'all got? I mean, that's a pretty short show.
Yeah, and the Game Awards must be
Oh
on because
no,
it is.
I got.
Oh, okay. No, go ahead. No,
I was gonna say I had some shit to talk about because we had a conversation. I saw
Oh
this
yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
dumbass tweet cross my timeline. Nick Wright's old dumbass had the nerve to say that James Harden is the greatest player to never win a ring.
Oh, I'm not talking about this.
Comment section. How do y'all feel? Name all the players. Now, we're not even gonna address the fact that Harden isn't, because obviously he's not. Who do y'all think is, or some of the people that come to mind automatically?
And I have two in mind that I already tweeted out before. So
name them.
To see
I
what
don't
the
think
chat
everybody
comes up with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in the chat, name your players that haven't won an NBA ring that you think are the best players to not win an NBA ring. Because, players that come to mind for me, obviously Charles Barkley. Allen Iverson is up there, but I think honestly I would probably put.
No, Karl Malone did win a champion, didn't he? Oh no, he didn't.
Karl Malone didn't know.
But we already know Bills ain't gonna recognize him. So
well, I put him over Harden.
Dang, that's tough, bro.
Yeah,
you must really hate Harden to do that.
I don't even hate Harden. I just like to be unbiased when I'm talking basketball. If we're talking about human beings, Karl Malone needs to die. But besides the point, I mean, Harden, I don't think is anywhere near the top of that list. You got the Reggie Millers of the world. You got the Patrick Ewings of the world. You got the
Charles Oakley didn't win a.
Oh shit! He did.
I don't think he did. No,
he didn't. He played for the Bulls, but he didn't play when they was winning.
He also played for the Knicks and got held back by the Bulls.
Right.
Yeah. So you have guys that haven't.
Allen Houston.
Chris Paul.
Oh, that's a good one.
Chris Paul.
I won't say one of the best. I will say one of the most underrated is Allen Houston.
Chris Paul, though,
Jeff
definitely
and Stockton.
Hornacek and Stockton for sure.
Let me see, Grant Hill.
Yeah, though his career was.
I don't think his injury should hold him back.
I know somebody was saying prime Tracy McGrady. And it's funny because he is one season short of being a champion. If he had just stuck around one more year, he would have won.
Yeah,
if they would have guarded Ray Allen, they would have had a chance.
I would not say that Grant Hill should be hindered by injuries because it does not take away his talent. He's still been a phenomenal player after the injuries. So you can put him as one. I can
have Anthony Hardaway.
That's another one.
Penny Hardaway is another interesting one.
But if you want my personal ones, I'll say easily to be Barkley, Allen Iverson, and Patrick Ewing. Those are my three.
And my two players were Reggie Miller and Allen Iverson.
And
but you also got to think about Rod Strickland.
Somebody said Chris Webber. That's an interesting one too.
Yeah, Webber's a good one. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out who else.
Reggie's a good one, like you said.
Yeah, I mean Reggie Miller. You got to think about it. He carried that small market team his whole career and went through numerous head coaches, numerous point guards, numerous teams just in general. As far as just the rosters around him.
Yeah. Trying to think anybody else that I can.
That's what I'm trying to think about.
Arvydas Sabonis.
Elgin Baylor never won a ring.
Elgin Baylor.
Right.
He's another one that technically got a ring but didn't play because he played like a part of that season.
George Gervin.
George Gervin, yeah.
Never won a ring. Pete Maravich never won a ring.
Nope.
Steve
Nash
never won a ring.
Pelican man put out Steve Nash.
Honestly, people are gonna bash me for this, but Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was the most dominant center in the league for a good 5 or 6 years.
As of right now, yes, he's still in the league, but I'll put him on the list as of right now. Yeah.
Bernard King was a monster. He never won a ring.
All right.
Artis Gilmore was dominant in his time. Bob Lanier doesn't have a ring. Mutombo doesn't have a ring. Alex English was like the scorer of the 80s. He didn't have a ring.
The fact that Mutombo doesn't have a ring is criminal because he played very well throughout his entire career.
And the closest he got was that 76ers Lakers final. Him and Allen Iverson.
He has said Dominique Wilkins.
Ravens Nation stupid, man.
Fruitcake ass.
He's not lying, though.
Yeah, Elgin Baylor, man. Elgin Baylor.
He's not lying. Amari Stoudemire? I'm not going to put him on that list. Amari Stoudemire had like 2 good years, got that big contract with the Knicks, and never was heard from again.
Daniel Daly said Ewing is the most disrespected superstar. I don't agree with that.
As far as getting dunked on, yes. I'll give you that. Like Jordan and Pippen made him his bitch. I was like, God damn. that one when Jordan hit the side, when Jordan hit that
the okey doke on the side.
The okey, hit that out on the baseline. It's like Jesus Christ, like you just stood there and let that happen. Like, damn.
Here's the thing that's the most offensive about that play. Every time I go and watch it, I'm just like, y'all motherfuckers are the reason why people watch basketball today and say that Jordan played against plumbers. How the fuck you let that shit happen?
That's what I was saying. Like
that. I would have fought them niggas if I was Patrick Ewing. He shouldn't have even gotten to the rim, my nigga. Like,
right? It's like he got blindsided by it. It's like he just got caught with the okey doke, and all of a sudden Ewing look over. It was too late.
Jordan.
The sad part about that play is that you had Starks. I think it was Starks and maybe Charles Smith. They followed him out to the sideline. They didn't bother to cut off the baseline.
Exactly.
And he dribbled back out and then quickly turned back in. Like, oh, you don't think he's gonna retreat along?
It bothers me every time I watch it. I'm like, Jordan, how you let a motherfucker turn his back to you
and then spin around you?
Spin around and go baseline, and then Ewing gets over there on time and still gets banged on. Just like, come on, bro. He did that shit in a playoff game too.
Right.
Fucking disrespectful.
Yeah, because that Pippen over Ewing dunk was in the playoffs too.
That shit was rude. Yeah, that shit was rude as well. But that Jordan dunk, it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, that was a jacked up one. Now the Pippen one, Ewing kind of had that one coming.
Ewing got over there a tad bit late,
right?
But that Jordan one, he was there on time and like early. It got banged like literally.
The thing is, the Ewing dunk or the Pippen dunk on Ewing wasn't the dunk itself. It was after the dunk when he
the push off,
and then he walked over him. That was the worst part about it.
That's true.
Man, the funniest part about that is when I guess It's Real Vids did a voiceover of that. It was like technical foul, nuts in the face.
What got me about the Ewing dunk is like Jordan just kept going higher. And higher. He went higher than he really had.
Like he dunked it as he was still rising. That's what it was.
Right. Yeah, it's like he meant to do that shit. It's like, damn, man, Ewing didn't have to go out like that.
That was one of the smoothest plays. Like, as far as just like he caught the ball and he did a little jab step and then he drove baseline. Boom, they cut him off. I'm like, all right, cool, they got him cut off. Then all of a sudden, he just pirouette.
It goes back around and pirouette and goes straight to the rim.
Like, okay, maybe he'll lay it up. No, this motherfucker banged on your best. It's like, come on, dude. Like, what do you even do after that?
I'm just mad that 2 players chased him. And
I didn't think cut off the baseline, even if you get a foul.
Right. Even if you foul him, it's like, yo, you're not letting that happen on my watch.
Somebody grab him. I'm like,
right.
stop him.
And the thing about it, back then, it was kind of okay to grab him like that. It's like, yo,
I low key wish instead of Ewing, it was Oakley under the basket. He would have fucking shoved his ass.
yeah.
Oakley or Anthony Mason, they would have been like, we're not.
No,
even
I would say this.
shit.
Oakley and Jordan are boys, so he probably
They
would
are,
have
but
shoved
Oakley's
him.
no,
No, not Oakley. Mason would have done that shit.
no,
Mason,
but Oakley's touched him up though.
I
Oakley
agree.
touched him up before.
I agree, but I'm more inclined to say like Mason would have sent his ass to the third row.
But you
yeah,
know what?
he definitely-
When the Knicks made that defensive switch to put Mason, it actually worked for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the crazy part. It was just like Mason was their defensive stopper at the time.
He was one of the original point forwards.
Yep.
Really.
He was.
He had an awkward, like, way he would bring up the ball was awkward as hell. But
It
yeah,
looked like he was out of control, but he like never was. It was so weird.
Right. He was like out of control, but in control.
and he was a lefty.
That made it even more awkward. Let's just name some players real quick from Ravens Nation's list. We don't have to really do any research for this, but he said do y'all's top 10 football players never to win a ring. The first one to come to mind to me is Dan Marino.
Marino, Barry,
Dan Marino, Sanders.
Dan Marino, Barry.
Damn.
I don't have a top. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't have a top 10.
It's just criminal that Marino and Barry don't have one.
Warren Moon doesn't have one. Randy Moss.
No, wait a minute.
You're right.
You would have to restrict it to the NFL. I would think Warren
Warren
Moon
Moon
won
played.
the CFL because remember he played in the CFL before.
Well, he did, and he did very well in that league.
He played in the NFL, so I mean,
And no, not all of his games were in the NFL.
yeah, but not all of them. But I'm saying still, he did play. I mean, Fouts is another one.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'll put an asterisk next to Warren Moon because he did win a championship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think.
And I know the question in mind is just thinking NFL, but I'm always thinking overall. Just like I consider championships recognized before the Super Bowl era.
Right, because you also got to think about he put up big numbers in the CFL as well. Like if you combine his numbers, his numbers, NFL and CFL.
Yeah, he was probably the most prolific passer ever.
Right. If you combine those numbers, you'd be like, damn, like you think, Drew Brees and Peyton Manning is up there with numbers. No, Warren Moon.
That's the same thing with that's the same thing with Dr. J too, though.
Right. ABA, NBA, right. You're right. Not to say that it counts. I'm just saying when you look at the totality of somebody's body of work, it's phenomenal with those numbers.
Well, I have a list here. I mean, I'm just looking at an article. I mean, you got Dan Fouts, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, Gale Sayers, Thurman Thomas, OJ Simpson, T.O., Tim Brown, Andre Reed, Chris Carter's crackhead ass,
Andre Reed, that's criminal. Him and Don Beebe.
Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, Andre Johnson,
Larry Fitzgerald, criminal.
Antonio Gates, Ozzie Newsome, Kellen Winslow Jr.
You know what? I'm kind of okay with Antonio Gates because he played with the Chargers along with Phillip Rivers, and I'm not.
Yeah, well, when you have Phillip Rivers, shit like that happens. But
that's what I'm saying. So I can't put him in the top 10, but I get it. You're basically legitimately like the Charles Barkley of the NFL.
John Randall, J.J. Watt's an interesting one because you think how many years he's played now and still doesn't have one.
Yeah, John Randall,
Ryan Urlacher.
Urlacher, you would think he would have one if you just think about his name.
Aeneas Wood. This motherfucker said Kaepernick. Anyway.
Hold on. Who said Kaepernick?
Wow. Crowder dropped the touchdown.
No. I'm not going to say he's one of the top 10 players or one of the best to never win one. I'm not going to say that. He went to the Super Bowl and he lost. But you're putting him up against other players that are like, they're astronomically better than him. And that's not a knock on Cap, but we just got to be honest. You look at other players we're talking about, and he doesn't even belong in the conversation of a Dan Marino or Barry Sanders or Deacon Jones or all these other ones that we're talking about. He's a good player, but he just does not have that. He doesn't even have the body of work to even be named with them.
You got Aeneas Williams, who's a top 5 corner pretty much his entire career.
He didn't win one with the Rams?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Oh, he caught it this time. This one was more difficult than the last one.
He was on the 2014 that lost to the Patriots, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay,
Champ Bailey's a fucking offensive one when you think about that.
Right.
It was his fault that damn ball snapped over Peyton Manning's head in that Super Bowl.
Right.
He was on that team. It's like, damn.
Yeah, that's a touchdown one. Let me look at this.
So-
How in the hell he caught that? Wow.
That's what I'm looking at. I've made a catch like that before.
London Fletcher, Bruce Matthews, yeah.
London Fletcher, yeah, Bruce Matthews, yeah.
But the ones that have, the ones that immediately come to mind are Barry Sanders and Dan Marino for me.
Yo, those two.
Yeah, those are the main two.
And it's getting to the point where you're going to start talking about like a Larry Fitzgerald along those lines, along with those two. Along with
got
those
Bernie
two.
Kosar.
Andrew Luck was on that list.
Yeah, but Andrew Luck retired early because of injuries. Not saying he's not one of the best, but it's just
different circumstance.
Yeah, it's different circumstance. That's what I'm saying. Jim Kelly had 4 chances. It's sad that I ain't gonna say it's criminal. It's sad that he didn't win one.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that Scott Norwood, he would have at least one because he wasn't winning the other 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There was no way in hell he's winning the other Super Bowl games.
I'm pretty sure that nobody on the Bills team from that era, or even Marv Levy, I'm pretty sure that nobody sends him Christmas cards.
Oh, that's right, Vinny Testaverde.
Marv Levy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Frank Tarkenton did lose four Super Bowls.
But they didn't lose 4 in a row though. That's the thing. Like,
no, I don't think they lost 4 in a row. I think
here's what's bad about the Frank Tarkenton one though. Back when there weren't that many teams in the league, and you're gonna make it back.
Okay,
and you
right.
Again to the same team. It's like, fuck, bro. That shit has to suck. Like, you're the best quarterback in the league. You got the best defense in the league. One of the best defenses ever. You get back and it's just like, get outplayed again.
Right.
That has to suck. It's like, you're going to make it back.
Yeah.
It's like the Bills.
Oh, yeah, they did do 4 in a row.
It's like the Bills. It's like, you're going to make it back if you're the Bills, right? Y'all are the best team in the AFC. It's not close. You just happen to be running into some of the greatest teams ever.
Yeah, I agree. The Giants absolutely controlled the clock in that game. Yeah, because they knew the fun and gun, the K-gun offense was just too powerful back then. The K-gun offense that the Bills ran, the Giants were good, but they couldn't stop it. That's why they tried their best to control the clock.
The Bills honestly created that whole tempo.
Right. The K-gun offense was like beast,
That's funny. It's like Bills had the K gun, and Falcons and the Saints had another.
Had to run and shoot.
No, but it was something else. It was like red gun or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. Right. Well, I know when June Jones came in, he started running the run and shoot, and that's one of the. I think it's one of the only moments you have 4 receivers with over 1,000 yards receiving.
See, everybody talks about. Oh, go ahead, DJ.
I was about to say, sometimes I think about the offenses back in the day, like run and shoot, red gun, K gun, whatever. And I was like, no different than the spread offense.
Well, and see, yeah,
it seems like spread is more streamlined. Just to say, instead of saying run and shoot, red gun, K gun.
Yeah, the differences with the run and shoot in the spread. The spread had the quarterback in shotgun. The run and shoot literally had the quarterback under center with 4 receivers, 2 on each side in a single back.
And even if he had, but there were some formations where there were 3 wide receivers on one side.
Right.
Yeah, also, they didn't use shotgun very much back then.
Right. Yeah. The run and shoot was not a shotgun oriented offense. The quarterback was still under center. That what made it kind of weird to run.
But when people talk about the offenses of today, man, they need to go back and watch Air Coryell. Because some of them AFL games, they were lighting it the fuck up.
Yeah, they were.
And he definitely had a coaching tree going on. Joe Gibbs was one of them.
And people want to talk about receivers, man. I'll tell you the most underrated receiver I've ever seen, Lance Allworth. Lance Allworth could play in any era. He was a Julian Edelman that was a deep threat. It was scary.
Between him and Harold Carmichael, I could see them two can play in any era.
Crazy. Last thing I got is Ravens Nation asks, do you think the Colts of the 2000s took from that Bills offense in the 90s? No doubt. I think a lot of teams did.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
You know,
teams.
you got to think about it. A lot of that stuff it was evolution to other types of offense, like the K gun turned into like the run and shoot, and other type, like you said, the red gun, and especially when around 95, 96, when quarterbacks actually throwing the ball more, it was predicated knowing that the Bills made the Super Bowl over and over again because they threw the ball more. So other teams, like they say, even back then, that was like the beginning of the NFL being a copycat league. You saw where when one team does something, then other teams started to do it, and you've seen it ever since.
I mean, yeah, the Bills were the first teams to really hand the ball off from shotgun when they were hurrying up. Boom, get
Right.
to all right. Look at this formation. We're gonna hand it off to Thurman, and then you just keep moving down the field, and yeah, the Colts definitely got that. But back to what Pooh said, yeah, man, look up those stats, dude. I mean, Lance Allworth was
Not
having
only that, you don't have to look up stats. Google them on YouTube. They got all that stuff on YouTube nowadays. You can watch them play.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, dude has 69 catches for 1,600 yards and 14 touchdowns. That's unheard of in 1965.
Right.
That dude was crazy good, bro. I mean, scary good. He was averaging 23 yards per catch.
Well, you can always go and play APF. Isn't he on APF?
No, unfortunately, he's not. He's not on.
Not really. Oh no, he's not. I just thought
They didn't include any. Honestly, they didn't include any AFL players really, aside from I think Kellen Winslow was on there, but Lance Allworth was a glaring omission. I think Dan Fouts could have made it even if you made him a silver quarterback. Obviously we don't know if they went after those licenses, but
no, they probably didn't.
I'm still
But
mad
then
that
again,
they
they
didn't.
didn't go for any AFL. I mean, all those players was like they were individually licensed. I think.
But you know what? I'm still
That's
mad
another reason. Oh, go ahead.
I'm still mad APF only got 2 out of 3 posse members. Because they had Gary Clark and they had Ricky Sanders, but for some reason they didn't get Art Monk, and he was the main person. So
Right.
I had to
I mean,
make
like I
Art
said,
Monk.
But like I said, it was more of the game with individually licensing players. That's one of the reasons why the game tanked, because they had to pay all those players back.
I want to know what Jim Brown was asking for to not
Right.
get on there. Like, what was he asking for?
That's a good
Like,
question.
what was Deion Sanders asking for? Like, some of them guys that were left up, Michael Irvin. Like, what would he?
They wanted Deion so bad they unofficially put him in the game.
Yeah.
It's like they put his likeness and movement in the game. All you had to do is like create a gold star cover cornerback, and you have his moves and everything.
But just think about it. It's like they have Troy Aikman, they have Emmitt Smith, but they don't have Michael Irvin. It's like you wonder, like, what were these guys asking for? So
Right.
interesting.
What else you got? What else you guys got?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably gonna tune into this Game Awards just to see it. It's apparently Death Stranding already won one of its
Man,
awards.
stop playing.
So
Yo, did y'all hear about the developer or like the Game Awards and Kojima got like in cahoots of them being nominated for X amount of games or the X amount of awards
categories?
Like
I heard rumblings of that. I think it was like not the actual awards itself. It was actually a person that was on that was actually in the game itself.
Scam.
So they were trying to like link the two, but to tell you the truth, I really don't care, because I'm like, at the end of the day, these Game Awards are just over exaggerated opinions.
Scam.
So it's not. I'm like, they could a game could brag about winning awards, but everyone has their favorite game. They have their favorite preference. Everybody could go on and say, well, these are my game of the year. These are my game of the year nominees, and this is what I think the game of the year is, and just take it.
Scam. It's a scam. I mean, how could a game just came out like a few months ago could get any type of honor for game of the year, and the game was under this much scrutiny? It was not like a game that was like a really good game. It was a game that had its issues that wasn't necessarily a quote unquote game.
I don't know.
Man, listen.
I think if anything the gameplay itself, it didn't seem like it was something that everybody would play, and they knew that. But then at the same time, it's about the themes that came from that game that speak to the people a lot more than the actual gameplay itself.
I mean, in the business I'm in, I see scams every day. I see the Grammys, I see the AMA,
Right.
I see the billboard. So I'm not,
My thing is, this is basically like fodder for the corporate slaves.
Oh yeah, we already seen one person been taking L's left and right all week long, and he's still
That
taking
move.
an L as we speak.
But you know
That
what?
move.
What's fun? But the thing about it is, what really disappointed me about that, knowing that the fact that he took that L, he went after Candace.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching
That's
this whole
dirty. Like
thing,
you had
and
all this, all these other people roasting you, and you decided to go after her.
Oh
well,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say he went after her on his own. She chimed in too,
Everybody
but
else did as
it
well.
became a back and forth. But
You know
it
what I'm saying?
specifically
I
became a
mean,
back
that,
and forth
I
between
mean,
them two, and I'm like, it's been funny to watch. And
he can say what he say about me, but I'm just saying, you had all these other people. I said
wait a
something.
minute, did he
He
say
said,
anything about you? Because
no,
he
he said
really
nothing.
was just speaking in general for the
No,
most
no, he
part.
wasn't speaking in general when he talked about it. He was talking straight up about her. But I'm just saying,
No,
other people.
no. I was asking you. Was
No,
he
he didn't
talking
say
about
nothing about.
you?
No, he said nothing about me. I
Okay,
mean,
then.
I didn't say nothing that was necessarily like out of the way. But it's just the fact that all these other people were saying stuff, and he decided to go after her.
well, see, here's the thing, and here's the thing. This is, and I don't care how he feels about it. I'm gonna bring it up. This is the Ryan Moody syndrome. Okay, you take a whole bunch of L's and then you pick the one W you might be able to get. That's what it is. You see all those people in your mentions and you pick the one person that might be a dub. So let's pick on Hollywood sports, right? That's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm taking all these L's. If I go at this person, it'll be another L. Let me see if I can get a dub over here. That might be easier.
yeah,
And
could be.
the sad thing is, he's not even winning that.
Right.
I was like, truth be told,
The thing is, at the end of the day, he should have just said, "Say, you know what? It is what it is."
yeah. I'm like, that's at the end of the day, it's his opinion that got him into this mess, and he should have said exactly what you just said. I'm like, look, that's my opinion. I'll just ignore everybody else, but he can't ignore it.
All right,
Because he knows it's true.
all right. 104 is in the books. Any plans for the weekend leading up to Tuesday, or what y'all got going on?
Well, I mean, Terrence Crawford's fighting this weekend. You have a racist UFC fighter fighting this weekend that I hope gets his
Oh, I
block
heard
knocked the
about
fuck
that.
off.
Nope, the Ravens just scored again.
Got a pay-per-view for WWE on Sunday. Probably gonna finish my song sometime this weekend. Got some gigs coming up, so I'm amped about that. But that's pretty much it. Get some Christmas shopping done sometime early next week and be done with that. And
Okay. What about
Yeah,
you,
I'm
DJ?
probably gonna spend some more time trying to recover. As soon as I shake this, I'll probably be in the right mind frame to do it. Because I've been meaning to get back to my blog, but it's just I'm not in the right mind frame with this ear situation. So
Well, write a
right.
blog about your ear situation.
no, it's not a
Write a blog
I'm just messing
about
with you, man.
this.
like I can't hear out this left side. It's funny. It's especially annoying when someone is on your left side and they're trying to talk to you, and I have to
Right.
turn my head just to, and then don't let anything else on my right side be going on and creating noise, and I can't hear it at all.
The blockage is really fucking annoying because then you get to the point where some days when it really does start calming down and going away, you'll hear the popping and say, "Fuck, I hope it just goes away in one fell swoop." And then
Don't get worse if you have a headache. That pressure's gonna kill you.
that's what I'm saying. So it just it's just
Yeah,
a day
and
by
I
day.
was saying that earlier because I when I walked downstairs, there were like two separate instances where I heard pops. And I was just like, all right, but realistically, I was like, I know I'm getting there, and I'm just keep working at it.
Now, have you looked up anything? Because there were some things when I had it that helped.
Mm-hmm.
Like they say, if you blow your nose, but do it like kind of slowly and gradually.
Trust me, I've been doing all of that, including like I use the hydrogen peroxide as a home remedy.
Yeah, you might have to get some wax RX.
Yeah, I may have to.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It goes away when it goes away. Unfortunately, there are things
and that's
that
what I was thinking too. Yeah. I don't because at the same time you're dealing with the eardrum and it's sensitive. You don't want to keep messing around, even if you have the right stuff. At the end of the day, I'm not a doctor, even though I can research stuff just like one. But
yeah, because the doctor, all they're gonna do is, I guess they have something that they can stick in your ear and kind of get the air out if it's air or fluid. But really it's just something that kind of just goes away. I've had it. I had it a couple summers ago. I had
Mhm.
it a couple of springs ago also, and it is fucking annoying. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just kind of one of those things that just go away. Like one
Pelican
day you
Man.
wake up, it's just gone.
He's like, "Can I get a free copy of the record?"
Motherfucker, can you get? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be straight up about this. All right, people have been seeing me. I take that back, and this isn't a shot at you, Pelican Man. This is more so a shot at people within my city and people on my Facebook page. People have had an opportunity to see me perform before I started getting gigs and all of this, so-called notoriety in the city. People have had an opportunity to see me sing for about 5 years now. So at this point, there's not much free shit to go around, bro. There's just not. And it's sad because you want your support from your city, but unfortunately I just gotta leave and come back, and maybe I'll get a show at the biggest arena here, but that's just my little spill on it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about personal training. I've offered personal training, present company excluded from this because I understand. Um, but just the people around me, I've offered my services as a personal trainer, and people are like, it's too expensive, and blah, blah. I'm like, it's my time. Oh, well, not that I say it to their face, but I'm
Right.
thinking, I'm spending my time, and I know how much I'm worth,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's just like, and some people expect like a discount because either their family or they're a close friend. I'm just like, nope, $89 an hour.
Yeah. I mean, people hear that I'm working with a producer that just sold a beat to Robin Thicke, and all of a sudden they care. But back when I was just pulling my own weight, they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
So
because here's the thing with personal training, a lot of people don't understand when they go to the gym, the the company, they take at least about at the they can do like 60-40. There's always a split where totally you're paying that much. You just think, and the trainer only gets maybe 30 or 40 or $50 of it, or according to the percentage. And then when as a freelance, if I'm like, oh, this is $89 an hour or $90 an hour, technically that's what you're paying both the gym and the trainer for if you go to a facility versus you're just paying me. All of it's coming to me.
yeah.
So, hey.
It's just interesting. It's like, I mean, if you could pay full price for a Jay-Z album, if you could pay full price for a Sam Smith album, if you
Mm-hmm.
can't stream a, you know, name them, if you can't stream their album for free, I mean, it's you shouldn't be able to stream mine for free.
Well, you know what it is.
And Pelican Man, trust me, ain't gonna be 2 more years. Shit, it might be 2 more months at this rate. You guys stay tuned, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's close.
yeah, it's close because he's like I said, he's doing a lot of moves. So
He's got the right. Right now, he has the right people in place.
we said this in the beginning of the podcast. So like we got a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, I'm gonna continue to stream. I'm gonna probably do some Madden 08 tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta catch
Every Saturday, I'm gonna be doing a different type of stream. I'll probably play some Insurgency, which I did stream that, and nobody gives a fuck about that. Great gameplay in Insurgency. Had a pretty good game on that, but probably do something on Saturday nights, which is different. But throughout the week, it's gonna be NCAA Madden, and like on Saturday, that'll be the different game that I'm gonna play. Um, looks like everything's gonna be on up and up with that. Probably be streaming at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. That's the time when the wife and baby goes to bed, and once if they're not too tired, or if I'm not having quality time with the wife, that's where I'll be doing this. But other than that, y'all will catch me here tomorrow. I'll be on Twitch doing the same old. Back Thursday, I know somebody in the chat asked about when we're gonna do the bowl picks for the college playoffs. We're gonna do that next week.
Are they all set?
Yeah, they're set. You know
Okay.
what I mean, all the bowls are set. All the the bowls
Stream Jumanji.
no. Um uh
So-
Basically we'll talk about the college games because like all the college games will start next week. The ones that really have meaning to them will start around after Christmas, so we'll start doing picks on that.
So wait a minute, they're calling it the Xbox Series X.
Xbox Series X for what?
That's what I'm trying. Okay, the new Xbox is called Xbox. So the next gen Xbox is being called Xbox Series X.
Good
Ill.
lord.
Ill.
They couldn't come up with another name. Like they really couldn't come up with another name.
I don't even care at this point. As
I
long
was
as
saying, like they couldn't come up with another name.
still, it's like, come on, man.
So we're gonna call this the series. Just call it Series X.
Why they
Call
couldn't
it
come up with another
Xbox
name?
Series X. Yeah, that's
For that, they should have stuck with the Scarlet.
Right. Exactly. All right, guys. We're going. What
Of
happened to
course,
me?
Kid Smooth is sold.
Whatever happened to me streaming Death Stranding? I found the game boring, and I
Just
didn't
sell
want to.
that kid a dick in a box. He'll take it.
Wow.
I mean, that's basically what it was. I mean, I did not. I didn't find Death Stranding streamable. Sue me. All right, we're going.
All
See y'all
right.
Tuesday.
All right. Peace,
Peace.
everybody. Thanks for everybody coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everybody for coming through. Love you guys.
That's what
Somewhat.
she said.
What did she say?
I don't know. He got some type of girl telling him something. I don't know.
Come on, man. That's awful.
All right, we out. Peace.
Peace.
Jesus Christ, peace.